while we've made some strides in getting rid of the vicious, vile wokeness from certain areas of public life, the schools are still a hot mess. And New York City schools among the worst. Imagine sending your child to public school where they have to take your kid because you pay taxes, but they use your tax dollars not to spend the day teaching your child about math and English and possibly learning a foreign language, but about crap like this when it comes to gender. Now stand by, we're gonna run this for you. This is from Wagner Middle School on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Again, this is a public school, and this was, we are told, supposed to have been a 7th grade Spanish class, okay? Listen to what somebody taped. It's right outside of the classroom, the instruction. They heard the instruction, turned on a tape recorder, and sent it to us. This is an exclusive. Listen here.
The doctor or whoever it was, they looked at our bodies as babies and said, congrats, it's a boy, or congrats, it's a girl. They put on your birth certificate, and that is called your gender assigned at birth, and everybody has one. People who are transgender, they say, that's not who I am, that's not how I feel. I actually identify as different gender. People might medically transition, they might take certain hormones, they might have certain surgical procedures so that their bodies match the way they feel. And it doesn't necessarily have to be transition to the opposite gender of the woman you're assigned at birth. I think that we should be pronouns. That's because I identify as something called gender fluid. So for me, my gender kind of shifts and changes. Sometimes I feel more masculine, sometimes I feel more feminine, sometimes I feel more in between. And so I just use all these pronouns. I didn't change my name.
Okay, just to give you a couple of highlights if it was difficult to hear. She's instructing when we're born, the doctor, they looked at our bodies, said, congrats to the boy or girl. They put you on birth certificate. That's your gender assigned at birth. Everyone has one, but you're absolutely right. People who are transgender say, that's not who I am. That's not how I feel. I identify as a different gender. So that can look a lot of different ways. That's all it is to be transgender. But people can absolutely do what you said, transition. Some people might medically transition. They might take certain hormones. They might have certain surgical procedures so that their bodies match the way they feel. That's all. It's just a little surgery so that you can match the way you feel. But not every trans person does that. Some people, might not have the resources or the means to do that. It's very expensive. I identify as something called gender fluid. Oh my God. So for me, my gender just kind of shifts and changes. Sometimes I feel more masculine, sometimes more feminine, sometimes I feel more in between. And so I just use all these pronouns. I didn't change my name. That's what's happening in the 7th grade at Wagner Middle School, a public school in New York City. So we reach out to them to say, what the right? What's happening? So we say, okay, we're producers for the Megyn Kelly Show. We're looking into this story. We understand some comments made during 7th grade Spanish class at Wagner. Do you have any comment on the teacher telling the students the following? Was the school aware of this? Can you confirm? Then the middle school principal, Jen Ren Losquandro, was the first to respond. The New York City Public School Media Department will support a response to your inquiry. Then at 12:30, first response from Nicole Brownstein, First Deputy Press Secretary, New York City Public Schools. Thanks for reaching out. Wagner Middle School does not have a 7th grade Spanish class, period. That's it. No, absolutely no inquiry like, what's this happening? We'll get on it. Why are they teaching kids that you can be gender fluid in the middle of class? What's happening? We responded back, are you aware of any Spanish class at Wagner Middle School? Have you received any information about any teachers or staff at this school making statements like this to students? And if so, is this appropriate? Then at 1:04, this woman, Nicole, responds back. This is again from the New York City Public School First Deputy Press Secretary. There are 2 Spanish teachers at the school. Both identify as male and do not identify as gender fluid. Okay, Nicole, this isn't going to work with us, sweetheart. You're going to have to be a little bit more forthcoming because we're on it like a dog with a bone. We responded back. We've been informed that there was some sort of presentation from a group called P-Flag at the school. Can you confirm if this is accurate? If so, was class time interrupted for this organization to speak to students? Can you confirm which classes got the presentation? Were parents informed about this? Were they able to opt in or opt out? Again, does New York City Public Schools believe this is an appropriate use of taxpayer funds classroom time? So we just got their latest response, and here it is. P-Flag New York City is an independent organization that New York City Public Schools partners with under appropriate circumstances to teach students about inclusion and understanding LGBTQ plus issues. No parents at the school have raised concerns about this programming, which was given as part of health class. So it did happen. You did bring in a group. You did interrupt instruction of actual academics to shove this trans ideology down the throats of 12-year-olds. And though you tried to dodge and weave our repeated requests, we caught you. And let me tell you something. If you're so certain that no parents at your school have a problem with this, no one's complaining, how did we get the video? Ask yourself that, New York City schools. Who do you think tape recorded it and sent it to the MK show? Do you think it was a really happy customer, either employed by you or paying tax dollars to send their kid there, or maybe even a kid who thought you were being inappropriate? You'll never know because you just assume everybody's on board with your radical ideology, which is pernicious and dangerous, suggesting you can just have the surgeries and it's really not a thing, Maureen.
I actually think they know that more parents than not are not on board with this stuff. And that's why they don't alert the parents. They're just going to do the indoctrination on their own. They believe in the moral validity of this. You were talking about this yesterday, this case that's before SCOTUS. And I'm reading coverage yesterday in the New York Times that's talking about how medically valid it is to give children cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers. To say nothing of, so in Irreversible Damage, another must read, Abigail Schreier talks about even the lower level interventions, like the kids who are like, get me a breast binder, at least just get me a breast binder. I'm developing, I'm self-conscious. The long-term damage that those very painful devices inflict on kids. They call these things like, the names are so amorphous and they're meant to sound vague and harmless.
Yep.
Right? Among these drugs is a drug called Lupron. That is a drug they give to women who have breast cancer. That is a very, very powerful drug. You're going to give that to a child? Are you kidding me? That is medical malpractice. I'm so glad whoever got this video got it to you, because people need to be really informed. I mean, I've had the beginnings of conversations with people who I consider smart, well-read, and they're like, what's the big deal about trans? What's the big deal? It's a big deal.
We're castrating children.
Yeah.
That's the big deal.
Yeah.
We're making it so they'll have no sexual function and no sexual enjoyment for the rest of their lives. I mean, truly, it eliminates the ability to achieve climax in a sexual interaction. These drugs, the puberty blockers and the cross-sex hormones. Who the hell can make that kind of a decision for a 10-year-old that it's abuse, it's child abuse, and they are presenting it to these children like, it's just not even a thing. And here are my multiple pronouns, indoctrinating them early at 11 and 12 years old into this. And we can't even get straight answers out of the people who work for us. Now we got to follow up with some of the books that they're pushing on these children. Look at this. Look at this. There is a man with a beard dressed like a woman. I'll show it to you. The first is This Book is Anti-Racist. Okay, great. And now you'll see the book that I was talking about with the man. He's coming with a beard, dressed like a woman, with things like be who you want to be. Look at this crap being shoved on middle schoolers. Be who you want to be. And gender stereotypes are damaging for both boys and girls. And there's no right way to be a boy or a girl. Another page details a person's transition process in their 30s. And books pictured include This Book is Anti-Racist. We're in this together by Linda Sarsour. Social Justice Handbook, Understanding Gender. Numerous books about race like The Colonization of Hawaii, a book, We Are Not Free by Tracy Chee, described as a nuanced narrative of the Japanese-American experience during World War II and on. They're dying to make these kids into social justice warriors. The pedal is still to the metal when it comes to wokeifying our children. That battle has not been solved by President Trump winning term 2.
Not yet. You know, I don't know whether it was you or someone else I was listening to, but the thing that's so pernicious about this is that there is no more confusing time than childhood, puberty, and adolescence. It is confusing. It is often terrifying. I know as a kid, when I started going through it, I wasn't ready for it. I didn't want it. For girls in particular, the way that boys and men start to look at you is maybe something you're not ready for. if I had had this stuff pumped into my head at that age by people I considered authority figures who knew what the F they were talking about, I don't know what would have gone through my head about what I needed or what I didn't need. And to your point, and this goes also right back to kind of the healthcare thing we were talking about, these people are creating permanent patients.
Yeah.
They will spend the rest of their lives going bankrupt.
They have dollar signs in their pupils when they look at these children who say, I'm gender confused. It's a pipeline that just keeps repeating. It's absolutely disgusting. You know how much my family and I love our dogs, right? Even Strudwick, cannot imagine life without them. Usually don't imagine life without them. They have a great life, but some dogs are not so lucky. This is why I'm super glad to tell you about Delta Rescue, the largest no-kill, care-for-life animal sanctuary in the world. They have rescued thousands of dogs, plus cats and horses too. And they provide all the animals with shelter, safety, and most of all, love. They've been doing it now for more than 45 years. Delta Rescue relies solely on contributions to stay open, and giving can bring tax benefits to you too. Speak with your estate planner about how you can grow your estate while helping animals in need. And check out the estate planning tab on their website to learn more. We love our Thunder and Strudwick, but would like other dogs who need love to find it too. Visit deltarescue.org today to learn more. That's deltarescue.org. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.